Doris Brevard's story begins years before she was born. In the words of her great-great-grandfather, Civil War hero Robert Smalls, "My race needs no special defense. All they need is an equal chance in the battle of life." Raised in Pittsburgh during the Depression, Doris was born into a household that valued education.
My father was a graduate of the University of Pennsylvania Dental School.
Doris stayed closer to home, using her gubernatorial scholarship to study education at the University of Pittsburgh. She later completed graduate work in library science and counseling at Columbia University. Doris's first assignments with Pittsburgh Public Schools were as school librarian and counselor.
My first assignment at Van was a librarian. I was at a Baxter Elementary in Homewood, and I was the librarian, counselor, and assistant principal.
In 1968, Doris was hired as principal of Robert L. Van Elementary. From the start, she faced an uphill battle.
So they were talking about the achievement of the children in the Hill District, and the two supervisors kept repeating that these children weren't able to function too well. So I was determined to find out what was wrong. Why were the children at Van or in the Hill District not achieving? I was determined I was going to prove them wrong. When I met with my teachers the first time, I told them that this was our school. Regardless of what the board said or what the board demanded, this was our building, and we were to make it the best school that we possibly could. I enjoyed being a principal. I enjoyed working with my teachers because they were all very supportive.
Doris's personal approach was appreciated by her teachers, but not always by school administrators.
She breaks the paradigm of what schools and educators should be able to do.
She actually found a way to have African American kids in an African American neighborhood succeed, be proud, be accomplished.
We were able to teach these children, and we didn't have to water down anything to meet their needs. Discipline was very, very strict. When you walked into Van, you could hear a pin drop. The children were quiet, respectful of each other and of the adults.
But she was that influential on many of us in my class, but on young ladies, because while she was the excellent teacher, she taught you to be a lady.
Her kindness, the way she spoke to people on an even level, the smile, everything about her is noteworthy, everything.
We had magic doors. And once you came through these magic doors, you were a very important person. And you were able to do whatever you wanted to do, and you were going to achieve. And the children believed that. And we believed it too.
Doris's methods worked. Standardized test scores improved. Van's student body, 90% of whom were on assistance and 70% of whom were from single-parent homes, consistently ranked among the highest achieving elementary schools in the city. Educators from across the country and around the world came to visit Van to learn from Principal Brevard.
I was an administrator when she was an administrator. We never worked together, but certainly knew about her. And there was always conversations about what she was doing. and you couldn't beat the kind of success she had.
But a lot of what happened at Van at the time that she was principal happened because of what she did, as well as who she was.
I mean, I was so determined that these children can learn regardless. And I was so pleased with my children, because when we would go out throughout the city, they would always say the students from Van School were the best. They asked the best questions. They were more interested than the other children and so forth, and it always made me feel good.
She made an impact not only with the kids, but with the community. She made an impact with the parents.
And the parents were always so pleased. They just couldn't get over how well their children were doing, you know. So we achieved in everything that we tried, really.
To Doris, it is the children she helped educate who defined her success.
The greatest achievement is when I see one of my students and they thank me for what they have been able to do because I helped them get through the elementary school.
I just want to thank you for all you've done for your kids and for us.
Congratulations, Mrs. Brevard, and thanks from all of us whose lives you affected.
For being such the lady, moving with such dignity and charm, and being the excellent educator and sharing of information that you have been over the years.
So thank you. The best of luck and the best of health to you.
You deserve so many more awards, but the one thing I think you know in your heart is that you did what you had to do.
I'm so proud of you, proud of what you have done. You keep doing what you're doing. I love you. Thank you for what you've done for our children.
I thank God for you, for the way you loved us and the way you were determined that we would have the best education possible despite the odds.
I mean, those are my children. I had to educate them. And I did.